Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, the folks at Banggood sent me a drone to review. This one is kind of interesting. It's got an obstacle avoidance sensor mounted on the top. It does have a 3-axis gimbal, but the remote is interesting. It's got a remote with a first-person view screen built into it, but then it also uses your phone with an app. So what that's all about, I'm not sure yet, but we're certainly going to find out. It's called the X40 Pro, the JJRC X40 Pro on Banggood's website. Now I'm looking at this box and it says Horizon drone on there. So, you know, whatever that means. It also then on the drone itself in the picture, it says hover. So I'm not sure which is which. However, there's only one thing to do. Let's get you a close-up look at this retail box, and then we'll get it out and we'll take a look at the drone. And then once we're done with all that, we'll get it out and we'll fly it. Okay, here's the box itself. As you can see, it says hover right here on the drone, Horizon right here, and then of course drone with GPS, 3-axis gimbal, real-time large screen transmission. So that's kind of interesting. 4-channel RC, 5.8 gigahertz. There's just a lot of information on this box. So we'll take a look at it all. 1-key takeoff, gesture photography, big deal. Brushless motor, that is interesting and is something that we like. But then you can see the RC in this picture, and it shows the main screen, says hello, just like you would see on an Apple device, and then you have a phone up top that you have an app for. So I'm really anxious to see how all that works. And then if we look at this side, it just talks about the gimbal, that it is a 3-axis gimbal. And then even on the bottom here, it just shows charging the battery with a cable and charging the RC with a cable as well. And let's see, what else? Is there anything else? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there is even on the top here. GPS positioning, 3-axis gimbal, Wi-Fi connectivity, altitude hold, 1-key off, up, and down, it says, or 1-key landing. Okay. And then 1-key startup and return, optical flow positioning. That's that little gadget on the top of the, well, no, that's on the bottom of the drone. And then indoor, outdoor mode switching. So you can turn GPS off is what they mean by that. And it's got probably 1 or 2 speeds. And then headless mode. Yeah, so I never use headless mode, but it's there if you want it. So, okay, at this point, let's just get it out of the box and let's take a look at it. So one thing that I always appreciate on these, cheaper drones, they always give you a really good carrying case. You can buy a $2,000 drone from DJI and you don't get a carrying case, but you do with these guys. So let's open this thing up and let's see what's inside here. So, okay, there it is, and it's all in little bags. Let me, and there's the RC, and here is the drone, and I'm not sure if that's sub 250 or not. We will look. Then there's a lot of other boxes here. Looks like I've got a spare battery. Yeah, parts it says. Well, we'll open these up and we'll see what they are. Okay, very quickly I'll show you inside the bag here. It's just 2 compartments, and then you got an upper compartment that's not zippered, so and then there's a little outside pouch there, but still decent looking little bag. So yeah, let's look at all this extra stuff here. You've got, looks like some charge cables, extra props, a screwdriver, screws. I see a couple extra gimbals in there. And then there's this thing. It's a USB-C or USB-A something. Let's see what that is. Micro USB. It's a card reader, and it actually has an 8 gigabyte card in it. So that's interesting. Nice that they give you a card reader. That's handy. So that's how you would upload to your computer. And then this other bag here has all the OTG cables. In other words, that's the cable that you're going to hook from the controller to your mobile device when it goes on the top of the RC here. And then this in that little box was this guy, and that's the little obstacle avoidance sensor. And it looks like you need to install that yourself. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I don't think it's necessary on a drone like this, but you would pop this top off here, and that's where it installs. So we'll see how that goes. We'll probably try it out. And then this little foam thing fell out when I was taking the drone out of the bag. It says tear here, so I don't know exactly what that means, but anyway, tear here. So it came with 2 batteries, and that writing is so small I can't read it. So I think it's probably about a, yeah, I think I can read it there, like a 1500 milliamp hour battery. So, you know, it works, and you've got a USB-C charge port there on the side. I like when they put the charge port on the battery itself, so you don't have to have it in the drone when you're charging it. So before we get to the drone, let's look at the controller. A lot of stuff on the controller here, and I'm going to have to educate myself as to what all these buttons are for. But it looks like you've got to take a picture, start recording. I'm not sure about these other ones here. And then up and down arrows here. That's definitely a return to home button. Power on and off. Unlock, that would be to unlock the motors. GPS, that's to turn the GPS on and off. I suspect that this one is for magnetic calibration, although I don't know that for certain. So we'll have to look into that as we get out and fly it. So this one's going to be all new to me. Now, I looked around on here and to see if there were gimbal sticks hiding on this thing someplace. There's not, so that's why those gimbal sticks are in the bag. But on the bottom here, it's got a USB-C slot. So I don't know if you can, I'm not sure what that's for, whether you can do a screen recording there or not, but we'll find out. And then this USB-C slot here is where you would put your OTG cable to attach to your mobile device that goes on the top, pinches into the top there. And this one is how you charge it. And again, this thing feels pretty substantial, so it's interesting. And you've got 2 scroll wheels here, and I'm sure one of them is for the moving the camera up and down on the gimbal, and the other one probably zoom, although I can't say that for certain. Again, we will find out when we get it out in the field. Okay, then the drone itself, it says there, that's definitely an M there, and then it says hover and then strong. So I'm not sure what that's all about. And again here, hover strong on the front arm here. And this, again, you would pry this open. Well, yeah, it looks like we can do that. And that's where this guy will fit in there. So we might as well see if we can slide it in there. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like this is one of those OA sensors that moves back and forth. So that should be kind of interesting. We'll see how that works. So there's the drone unfolded. Anyway, so I'm quite sure that's a sub 250 drone because it feels pretty light, and the size of it and so forth leads me to believe that. Although again, I'll have to put it on the scale to tell you for sure. Looking on the sides, nothing there again. Maybe that's a W instead of an M, but it still says hover strong. Yeah, maybe that's a W. Hover strong on both arms. Yeah, and then the same on this side, hover strong. I do not see a US or a micro SD card slot on the drone. Okay, we're not done yet though, so we'll find out. And then on the bottom here, this is an optical flow camera. That, I don't think that's anything, although I can't tell you for certain. And then you've got an on-off button there. And the battery, let's see if we can pull that baby out. Yeah, there we go. So there's the battery slot. So I was hoping that was an SD card slot, but it's not. So anyway, again, I'm not sure about that. Now this is interesting. Oh yeah, you can see the battery, the lithium batteries inside the casing there on the back of the battery. It's always interesting taking off these gimbal covers. But again, yeah, it's a 3-axis gimbal. It's moving in all 3 axes. It says field of view 108-degree field of view, and it says f2.5. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, nothing unusual there. I'm kind of tilting it around. Sometimes they'll put an SD card slot on the camera itself, but there is no SD card slot on the drone that I can find. When I get into the instructions, if I find it, I'll let you know. And then this in the pictures looks like that's a blue light. So yeah, that's about everything I can tell you right now. Once we get it out in the field, we'll be able to tell a lot more, and we can kind of go over the controls and figure out what all the buttons are for. But it can't be too terribly complicated. The part that I'm interested in is why you would have an app on your phone up there and then still have this display down here. But you know, I'm all for innovation. I suspect it's transmitting the video back to the RC, and that's why you have an SD card slot on the RC, and that's where you're going to get your video from the drone. By the way, I looked on Banggood's website. This thing is about $145. Now, they are going to give me a discount code, so I'm not sure what that will get the price down to, but I will put the discount code in the description. But anyway, one thing left to do. Let's get this thing out in the field. Let's get batteries charged up, and let's just try it out. It's an interesting little drone. Hey, okay, we're out in the field with the JJRC X40 Pro. That's the name that Banggood calls it, although on the top of the drone it says hover strong, whatever that means. But it's an interesting little drone, and I'm going to try it with the obstacle avoidance sensor on the top, so we'll see how well that goes. I want to show you some things with the remote control before we get this thing in the air, though. So when I did the introduction, I was kind of guessing on some of these buttons, and so I know a little bit better now. This top button right here is for turning the obstacle avoidance on and off on the drone. This one is gyro calibration. This one is compass calibration, and of course that's return to home. This turns the GPS on and off. That's to unlock the motors, obviously the on and off switch. This is to take a picture. This is to start video. This is a back button. So what do they mean by that? This is not a touch screen. Although we're supposed to get FPV view, and we'll look at that in a few minutes. It is not a touch screen. You've got up and down arrows, I guess, for menu selection. And then this bottom button would be the play button, I guess, if you were playing it back. And this is a return button to return to the previous screen. But of course, we're going to put my mobile phone on the top here, and it uses the HFun Pro app. So it's going to be kind of an interesting hybrid. Yes, you'll have an FPV screen here. You'll also have one here. I think the reason they do that is because so you can get all the functionality of the drone. I think you need the app for that. And then of course here I've got my USB-C cable. And in fact, let's just take a look and see if my phone will fit in here. Okay, let's take a look here. You can see I've got an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I got to tell you, it just barely fits in there, and it is very tenuous. This thing, it pops out of there really easy. So be really careful. You know, you don't want to drop your phone and break your phone. So I'm going to tell you, be very careful. Might be better with a smaller phone, but I don't know if you can see it here. It's got a little kind of a trough here, a slot that your phone should fit in. Mine is too thick. I don't know what kind of a skinny phone fits in there, but certainly not an iPhone. So that's interesting. And I guess what I'm saying is just giving you a warning, be careful. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is the joysticks. They are just a push-in fit, so hopefully they stay in there. I prefer the kind that at least screw in there. But in any case, it's time to get this drone in the air. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got the drone fired up. Let's turn on the controller here and see what we see. And yeah, it gives us hello just like you would see on an Apple phone. That's hilarious. And the first thing they want you to do, I don't know, we should get a beep when it connects, and looks like, look at that, look at it connected, and look at that, we have an FPV feed. So the first thing they want you to do is a gyro calibration. So let's do that. Pushing that button. Yeah, we got another beep, so that's complete. And now let's do the compass calibration. So I'm going to start with that button. And let me start that calibration. So we should get a beep. There's a beep. So, oh, I think we turn it down. And we got another beep. So our compass calibration was successful. And so let's see how we're doing satellite-wise. And let me fire up the app. Okay, it looks like we've got a screen recorder going. So let's start the HFun Pro app up. Maybe. There we go. And it wants us to use your location. I will put allow while using app and tips. Read carefully and understand. We're going to confirm that. Maybe. And boy, my screen is already dim here, and we're not even really in the direct sunlight. So we should, let's look at settings real quick. And this thing shoots in 1080p, so it does not have 4K. Well, I don't know. Let's click on 4K. No, 1080p is what it has, and that looks like all we have in settings there. So how do we get back to the other screen? Okay, I'm going to have to, oh, settings completion. There we go. It was at the bottom there. And prepare to fly. I guess we better click on that. Oh, yeah, horizontal position. We've done all that already. So we're going to go next. So this will take you through the calibrations. And yeah, so yeah, look at, we've got an FPV feed. So we're kind of good to go. I'm going to kind of hold it in front of the camera here so maybe you can see the difference in brightness. They're about the same. I'll probably go into the shade here a little bit. But let's see. It looks like we have, I'm looking for number of satellites. Looks like we got 15 satellites, so that's plenty. This is a really, really busy app on here. I think I've looked at that before, but let's see if we can unlock the motors. And they did. Look, I pressed that button and unlock. And I think we should just be able to hit takeoff. I don't know. Let me try it on the app. Yeah. Well, I did it on the app and it didn't seem to take. So let's try that again. Unlock the motors first. So let's do that. And on the app, I'm clicking that up button. You want to take off automatically. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working. So let's go ahead and just go up on the stick. As soon as I let go of the stick, it kind of, you can see it bouncing there. I let go of the stick and it's just kind of bouncing around. Let's get it up in the air a little bit. Yeah, let's back it up. Yeah, it's moving around quite a bit, so we're not going to get this guy in too close. And let's see if we can start recording. I'm going to do that on the controller. It is pretty cool. I've got 2 FPV feeds. So I hit the record button, and that should record to the there's an SD card in the RC. So there's no SD card in the drone. So it may also go to the camera roll on my drone. I don't know. But yeah, everything seems to be, it's kind of stabilized now. It seems to be doing okay. Maybe I dare bring it in here a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. See, look at that obstacle avoidance. I think that obstacle avoidance is, well, maybe working. I don't know. Let me turn it on. Let me press that obstacle avoidance button on the controller. Yeah, so that little top thing should be moving back and forth, and it's not. So I don't know. I don't think we have obstacle avoidance. I don't think I would count on it anyway. I can tell you the screen, the FPV screen on the controller is brighter than my phone right now. So that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and let's do a droney, reverse and up. And yeah, you know, the controls are a little iffy there. You saw me kind of move off to the side. Let's see if we can move back again. So I'm going to go Back on that right hand, up. Okay, we're doing a little better now. Yeah, yeah, it's flying okay. Okay, let's try that gimbal control. Yeah, so I'm dropping the gimbal down. That works pretty good, I'm telling you. Not bad. Okay, and let's see, we've also got speed control on this thing, but first, let's see, I don't know what speed we're in now, but let's fly it out here to this other corner. Let's grab a little more altitude. Man, I like the FPV screen on this thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it to you very well on the action camera, but maybe you can see that. But I don't think we're in the shade where you can see it. But my phone is getting very dark, but the FPV screen is bright and I can see it, so that's a good thing. Okay, let's go full forward. And let's see how fast this thing will go. And I do not know what speed we're in. It says PGPS. So 2.8 meters per second, that's not very fast. Let me see if I can kick it up a gear. That is C mode, it says. That's a little faster. About 5.5 meters per second. And I'm getting a little bit of, yeah, my FPV feed on, it's interesting because it is mirrored on my phone, but whoa, there. See, that's, yeah, it's, and I'm pointed directly at the drone. I wanted to go out to this other corner over here, so let's see if we can get it pointed out there. Maybe, maybe. I'm trying, folks. I'm not exactly sure, but let's go forward, and we're out about 190 meters. Yeah, now we better bring this guy back a little closer to us because I don't think, yeah, this is not a drone you're going to want to fly very far. I'll just tell you that because it definitely was locking up on us. So I'm pushing full forward, trying to bring it back to us here, and it keeps moving back to its right. Whoop! Now it's pointing. It's pretty tough. But 5 meters per second. Okay. Look at it move around. Okay, let's hit that speed button again. And that's sport mode, so I don't know, guys. Even as close as I am now, I'm only 78 meters away. Yeah, and we've already used half the battery, so I think I'm pointed towards the flagpole there. Let's see what it does. Yeah, no, it's moving back towards me now. And I'm looking at the drone. I got eyes on it. It's about, what, 6.5 meters per second, so it's not the fastest thing. I'm doing full reverse now, and it's coming back the other way. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I think this drone is something you're going to want to keep pretty close to you. So I am full stick down, trying to drop it down here. And we are at, it says 69% battery. I'm telling you, the screen on this thing is a lot more useful, the FPV screen, than than what I'm seeing on my phone. My phone is awful dark, so even in the shade here, it's difficult to see. But the drone, it's weird. It kind of moves around a lot, and I don't know if that's a function of that. It's got that little obstacle avoidance sensor on it that might be messing with it. I don't know. But let's just try and fly it around here. Let's see if we can just, let me find a point of interest here. Let me fly it out, and we'll see if we can, oh boy. Okay, I'm going to see if I can slow it. That's S. Okay, N seemed to be the slowest mode, which is where I've got it now. So, as you know, normally I'd go fly around the flagpole out there, but I don't think I have that kind of control. So I'm going to try and do a manual orbit here. Dropping the camera down. Let me see if I can do that. It's kind of doing it. Yeah, the problem is I'm getting some kind of blockiness on the FPV screen, but yeah, we're doing it here. Yeah, we're kind of getting an orbit going. Uh, I'm telling you, this is a drone that I'll just tell you up front, you're hurting it more than flying it. And I got my fingers off the sticks, and you see it moving around there. You see my FPV feed moving around. I had no fingers on the sticks at all. Trying to pick the camera up a little bit. So I mean, take it for what it's worth. This is a bargain drone. I looked at the price, and it's about $145, I think, something like that. And boy, I'll tell you, you can't see where you're pointing it. See, that's the problem. When the screen finally catches up, you think you're going one direction, and it's actually pointed another. So I'm trying to go towards the corner out here, and we are in slow mode. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, we're kind of doing it here. Yeah. Okay, I'm anxious to see what the video quality is. Alrighty, I am going to take a quick look at the menu here. We do have a waypoint mission on here. I'm trying to see what all we have with regard to this. This is a very busy app, so it's kind of hard to tell. I was clicking. Okay, so there is our waypoint. Let's see if we can put some points out here and get the drone to fly them. Okay, there's 4 points. I'm going to upload that to the drone, and it's sending. And let's see if the drone will fly this mission. Is it doing anything? It's not doing anything. It's still sitting there, isn't it? And all that disappeared. So let's see. Let's try it one more time. Let's just do a couple of, well, okay, clicked on it. Let's do a couple of waypoints. Let's just try 2 waypoints and see if it'll do it. I am going to push the upload button, and it says it's sending. And I am on the map screen, and I don't know. If there's something else I got to do here, I don't know what it is, because it's not, the drone is just still sitting there hovering. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. Let's hit the, we're far enough out there. Let's hit the orbit button and see what it does. So, clicking it, and I hit upload, and let's see what the drone does. It's just sitting there. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not, yeah, I have no idea why it's not taking commands from the app, but it isn't. So anything you do, yeah, and we're down to, it says 45% battery, but it's in the red. And we should still be recording. Yeah, so I don't, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's see if we can, wow, I was going to see if I could take a picture, but again, I'm struggling to get it pointed where I want it to point. I was going to fly it out to the corner out here, grab some altitude. Doing a little better now. Yeah, of course, we're going slow because we're in slow mode. I kicked it up into the medium speed mode. See if we can get going a little faster. And it is. It's about 4 meters per second. And it says we got 44% battery. Okay, I'm going to yeah, we're going to stop right there. I'm going to pick the camera up a little bit. I'm going to grab some more altitude. And we're going to, I'm going to see if I can stop recording. So we're going to do that on the controller here. And it did. Okay, so then we're going to hit the picture button. And I think it took a picture. I hope so. It says 20% battery, so yeah, it looks like, I think it's going into return to home. It's beeping at me. So I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing here. Yeah, it's coming back. So we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely coming home. I'm dropping the camera down. Yeah, when that battery started dropping, it dropped real fast. And it's almost above us. Hopefully it won't land on the top of the shelter here. I'm trying to get the camera pointed straight down so I can kind of see. Yeah, I'm pushing it forward because I don't want it to land on top of the shelter here. And is it coming down? Doesn't appear to be, does it? Okay, I'm going to pick that camera back up and we're going to bring the guy down. Picking that camera up is a whole chore in and of itself, but I'm holding it down. Yeah, it's coming down slowly. Let's see if we can, yeah, I kicked it up into sport mode and see if it'll descend faster. Yeah, it's coming down slowly but surely. It's taking its time, and I'm trying to pick the camera up at the same time. Sorry, guys. I know this is probably boring. Okay, let's see if we can get her down here. I'll see if I can manually land it. It is coming down super slow, super slow. But it's coming down. Let's see if we can land it on the pad here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna mess with that speed mode again. Get it in the slowest mode. And let's see if we can get it on the pad. I'm skeptical, but I'm gonna try. Look at it move around, and that was uncommanded. It kind of does what it wants. Okay, we're gonna bring it lower. Bring it lower, see if I can get over the pad. You know, I don't know if it's that obstacle avoidance sensor on the top or whatever, but anyway, I'm gonna lower it down here. We're not on the pad, but we were about as close as we were gonna get. Okay, let me get it shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, I'm breaking into this video with the JJRC X40. After that initial flight with it, I flew it again with just the controller, but for whatever reason, the video file got corrupted, so you're not going to see that, but you'll hear me refer to it in the conclusion. Just wanted to let you know what's going on. Okay, the JJRC X40, interesting little drone, I'd say. You know, what you have to do is manage your expectations. I'm sure with the discount code that Banggood provides, this is probably around $100. So, you know, again, that's what you get. You guys have seen the video already. I haven't. I'll get to see that when I go home and pull the SD card out of it. As far as flyability of the drone, really it was tough because the FPV screen would kind of freeze up and what direction we were pointing it. And then there were a lot of uncommanded movements where it would move around. Now, did that have to do with this obstacle avoidance sensor on top? I don't know. There didn't seem to be anything, there wasn't anything in front of it, so I don't know. I'm just guessing. What I might do is try flying it without that on there and see what happens. But again, manage your expectations. If you're just looking for a drone that you want to get in the air and you want to fly around the park, hey, you know, for the money, yeah, it might be worth a shot for you. Don't expect to be Cecil B. DeMille with this one because I'm sure the video is going to be, you know, it's a 1080p and it's transmitting it to this controller. Well, and I'm glad let's talk about that for a second because the coolest part about this controller, I'm going to move the camera around here so I can kind of show you. What you're seeing on the screen there right now is probably when I shut it off, the last picture when I shut it off, but that's pretty bright. That screen was brighter than my phone. which brings us to the next thing. I think that I really don't know that I was connected to the app very well, because I couldn't get it. You know, you saw me try and do an orbit and then try and do a little waypoint mission, and it looks like my phone is kind of doing its own thing. I'm going to get that out of the way. That's the other thing about it, is that mount is not it's not the best ever. But as far as the RC, it's got some weight to it, and I like that. And I really like that the first-person view screen. That was the best part of it. Too bad it's not a touch screen, but I'm telling you, I could see better where I was flying with this screen than I could looking at my phone. So that's interesting. But anyway, I guess that's about it. And I was looking at my cable here. I'm going, well, geez, did I not have that plugged all the way in? But it is. It's plugged as far as it can in there. So I don't know. And then this is the little SD card right here. So when I get home, we'll see what we have on there. So anyway, that's about it. The JJRC X40 Pro, or the Hover Strong, as it says on the drone itself. Yeah, interesting little drone, and I thought it was an attractive little drone. Don't expect to get a Mavic Pro, but you know, I'm sure it's going to be around $100 by the time you apply the code that Banggood gave me. So yeah, something to fly around the park. Anyway, that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to watch this video. And of course, we will see you on the next one. Again, the JJRC X40 Pro. See you guys later.